Okay, this is Selania, and yeah, so far this is looking really good. I'm a little concerned about this sort of those faces there. I feel like maybe you could straighten that out a bit. It's a bit extreme of a face, and then I might want a little bit more detail in the shape around here. What happens if we put an edge loop in there? It kind of gets a little crowded with the arm. Looks like there's some overlapping faces here too as well. Do I have symmetry on? I do. Might kind of push this back in. Um, and oh, did that symmetry not work? And then yeah, here. Yeah, just look out for any kind of extreme changes there. See if you can. One thing that's, yeah, why isn't symmetry working? It's on. Is that not perfectly symmetrical? Let me see if I can remirror it. I'm just going to isolate this object. Go to the front view. Oh, it's not centered for one. I don't know how that happens if people manage to not center their characters. So I might take everything here and move the pivot point like to the center of the crotch or something. I'm just holding down D and V, and then go to the front view and just click on just this one and hold down X, and that will center it along the center line. Yeah, it just looks like everything is just slightly out of whack, so I would probably remirror everything to get that properly centered and everything. Let me just start with these because that's what I was looking at, and you can just always repeat it with the other ones. So I delete out half the faces. Let me just turn off symmetry for a moment. Let's just make sure that looks right. Nope, see? It's a little tricky in there. Let's try that again. Okay. And then I'll make sure that these are all going along the center line. I'm just going to deselect those. So just these on the center line. If I do Control F9, it'll convert those to vertices. And then if I open, not that one, this one up, and put absolute transform and put 0 in the X direction. Okay, that should make sure you can see what that's. Oh, those are awfully close together, but yeah, I think it's okay. But you can see what they're doing. If I type 0 here, I know they're all exactly at 0 then. Okay, and then I got the pivot point right at the center there. Okay, and then we can try mirror. It doesn't always work. Shift right mouse click mirror options. X direction from the negative side to the positive side, so that's the positive direction. Merge custom 0.001 mirror. Nope. So let's just do it manually. Control D, scale -1. Select both sides, mesh combine. Control F9 to convert to vertices. Edit mesh merge options. 0.001 merge, and so this should be merged along the center. So now it should be symmetrical, and now symmetry should work. Symmetry, yes. Okay, there. So you might want to repeat those steps. Well, you should repeat those steps with the other parts of the model. So now if I wanted to do some adjustments here, one thing you might like is in the move tool options you can do transform constraint and surface, and what that does is I can move the point but see how it stays on the surface, so it tries to maintain the shape of the surface. So this is how you can just sort of adjust your topology while mostly keeping the shape of the surface intact, so you don't have, just to kind of get a better sort of flow here of the shape of the polygons, so you don't have those extreme changes. Something like that. I might put in another row here, and you can get in, a little bit more shape there maybe. Oh, let's turn off. Let's reset the tool to get rid of any constraints on there. Just to get it a little bit more shape there and a little more detail. And then, yeah, repeat the mirroring thing with this. And obviously you're missing the rest of your arms and your hands and your calves. So obviously you'll need to build those. So I think what you have is well built. I just think you need to make sure it gets centered, make sure everything is properly symmetrical by remirroring it like I showed with the pants, and get those missing pieces put in.